Alright, so we're going to take a quick look at building the office asset. So we've created a building, we've created the people, and now let's look at some of the assets. So we've got our chairs, tables, computer, pieces of paper. So they're really easy to build. If you notice, the table is really just a rounded rectangle with a gradient fill and then a stronger outline. The chair is really just a square shape with two arms. These are darker rectangles, and then you've got the backrest, which is just it's really just this shape with the gradient going the different direction. And then the computer is just another PowerPoint shape. So let's go ahead and build a few of these so you can see how they work. So let's go to this blank slide. And let's build a computer first. I'm just going to use this shape here that when I scrunch it up looks kind of like an old type computer, and people probably recognize that more than they might recognize an LCD computer, flat screen computer. So we've got our computer shape here. You can do a gradient color, choose whatever you want to. You can do that kind of off-white color or whatever it is. But you've got your computer, and then what we would do to create a keyboard is we just create a little keyboard shape here that kind of goes with the computer. And then I like to put like a little monitor separation, so I might duplicate this keyboard shape, the rectangle, and do something like this. So I've got this monitor thing that sticks out. I fill it with black, and then I can bring the computer up on top, and now I've got a little computer monitor. So it gives it a little bit more interest. And then I would fill these with gradient fills, and then I've got my computer. So you can group this, and what's nice with grouping it, and what I did is I can copy this to another section, and then I can keep it grouped, but I can move the keyboard around based on how I want it on the table. And so I can take the computer, move it a little. Oops, I want to group the black thing, but you kind of get the idea. So, and then it still remains grouped, and I can move it around. So that's how you build a keyboard. To build a chair is pretty simple. It's the same thing. You can go with, you've got your flat seating area. You're going to build your armrests. We can put the armrests here. You want to have a contrast, which is really the main part of the chair. So let's say we're going to go with the black arm here, and you could we'll just go without a gradient. We'll do that. Let's get rid of the white, the blue background, and then the backrest, same thing. Just change up that, and if you add the gradient, if we look at the original here, when you add the gradient fill, it just gives it a richer look. So this is basically it, and you just add your gradient fill, and then you can move your chairs around. So you can do a Control G, that's your chair, and then duplicate them, move them around, put people inside the chair. Let me see if I have some people here. So let's grab a person. I've got a person here. We'll copy them, bring them to the chair here. Control V. So we've got our person. Let's scale this down, and then it's just a matter of bringing the person and sitting them in the chair. You can see how that works. It's really easy. So when we go back to this, it's just a matter of what do you want to build, adding some gradients, make it look richer, and then changing up the position of things. So if we zoom in here, and we'll talk a little bit more about the positioning later, but you can see you don't want all the computers to look like this, so I moved the keyboard here, I angled it a little there, changed their arm position. So it's just different things you can do. If we go back to this here and you want to create paper, it's just the same thing. Create a piece of paper. I like to use this slightly off-white color. I use a gradient fill instead of white, so I might, let's do the gradient fill here. So I do a gradient fill, which is going to be white and then to an off gray. And when you look at it, it just looks richer. And then if you want to add lines to it, you can just do that, and then you add the lines to it, and then group them together and scale them down, and that's basically it. And then you just add them into your office space, which we'll do in the next tutorial.